May I interest you in a game between two teams that play two big men? One a traditional post player and one a dancy dancy look at me, look what I can do post player.
Hmm.
A team that last we talked had a nickname called the Crab Five,
Hmm.
and they're like your guards but good,
Hmm.
versus my nicknameless team that everyone says stinks, that has Maryland's guards but bad,
Hmm.
that just somehow is in the Big Ten semifinals. Shit, pure luck. Every Michigan win for 3 months has been luck. So here we are. May I interest you in that?
Outside of that win being luck part, yeah,
What do you mean?
there was nothing lucky about that win against Purdue.
What do you mean?
There was nothing lucky about that.
What do you mean?
Oh, good grief.
You don't think it was lucky for Michigan that Purdue's three stars went 0 for 11 from the floor in the final 13 minutes? You don't think that was pure luck?
No, they were tired. They were tired, and they're also the 397 to the ninth degree best 2 point defense in the country.
Yeah, but okay. Don't make me take the victory mini muffins back out. These teams played like a week ago.
Hmm.
Week ago. Michigan lost by 6 at home in Ann Arbor. Maryland scored 71 points. They shot 36% from three. Michigan just kind of, I don't know. Vlad and Danny went off. That's the one thing I will say. Like, Vlad had 20 and 15. Danny had 20 and 8. And I feel like if Michigan plays that exact same game, but gets the guards they got against Purdue,
We get greedy. On the last preview, we asked for one guard. It's nice that we got more than one, but we just need one.
I mean, I think if Michigan's guards and wings just show up with a smile on their face like they did against Purdue, Vlad and Danny were dominant against Maryland the first game.
Yeah, yeah, they're really good. I'm sorry, I was pulling up the score right now. Honestly, Trey Donaldson would have had a way better game if he just hit some shots. He did hit two threes in that game.
He was okay. He was
Honestly,
4 for 10.
Trey wasn't terrible in that basketball game. Y'all, I'm trying to remember what exactly happened because it was close, correct? Yes.
Michigan was down like 12 in the first half. They put it together late.
Okay. I'm
They
trying to
cut
like
it. They cut like a 13-point deficit down to like 4.
right. Honestly, it came down to turnovers.
Yep.
That's what turn the ball over 16 times.
Yep, which will likely happen. Maryland
Oh, I'm
forces
sorry.
that.
Yeah, no, 16 times. Yeah.
Yeah, Maryland forces that. So, like, I guess I don't know. Do you expect a similar game script to the first game?
I think so because I don't think necessarily it didn't work. I think you got something from Donaldson. You got Vlad and Danny to combine for 40 points and what, like 20 boards almost. Like I feel like you really can't ask for more than that. I think just taking care of the ball, which to what we just saw in the game against Purdue, y'all had what, six turnovers? Now I know Maryland's better at creating turnovers than Purdue, but also to your point, not to steal what you said, but there was some things set wise and offense wise that I think not simplified things, but kind of put guys in positions where they didn't like couldn't turn the ball over. Like it was very spot here. I'm shooting it. If I'm not, I'm dumping it off. Not a lot of like erratic type situations. And for Michigan, when it did get those erratic situations, Trey Donaldson actually ended up making plays a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I feel like I'm just beating the same horse that we have all year. But like
Also, this game's starting to come back to me too a little bit. The turnovers in this one, the frustrating part about them is I don't know if they were that forced. Like I remember like Namari Burnett trying to make a post entry pass and Selton Miguel just held his hands up and he just threw it right into his hands.
Some were, some were not. It was definitely like Michigan was definitely broken mentally by the time this game happened. So like it wasn't, I don't know. There wasn't a ton for them to like snap out of. They were just in the mode where like we need to get to the postseason.
Hmm.
Now, visibly it looked a lot better against Purdue, but a part of that is just the Purdue defense providing very little resistance. Here's my thing with any Michigan Maryland matchup this year. Michigan has had to win a lot of games, close games wise, where Vlad and Danny were great and nobody else did anything. I straight up don't think Michigan can beat Maryland with just Vlad and Danny. Because you can beat some teams with just Vlad and Danny because it's so unique and there's nobody that can match up with it. Against Maryland, they have their own Vlad and Danny, right? So you have to have something else that you can point to that like that was a win. Now the sign for optimism for Michigan is against Purdue, Trey Donaldson was the best guard on the floor in a game with Braden Smith and CJ Cox.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can't believe that was a real sentence, but it was 24 hours ago. So Jacoby Gillespie versus Trey Donaldson is the key to this game. How should I feel about that?
Can I ask you something as a Michigan basketball fan? Because I know you are in lockstep. You have watched it. I've watched a lot of Michigan basketball games, but there's been times where I've been tuned out, or I guess I don't notice trends. What has Michigan done after wins where guys play well? Is it like string it together, like they're feeling good and they build off of that?
At times it has been.
There's a real world where that happens in this, like you're just right, you know what I'm saying? Like they have this game with confidence and they're right back to it. Now, on the other hand, Maryland's feeling good as well, but I'm just talking about Michigan specifically. Like they feel good about themselves. LJ Case is probably feeling the best he's felt since he changed his profile picture. He's feeling great.
Signs of life.
Signs of life.
Yeah.
Indy.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Let's look through some history on that. When they one of their best performances of the year was Xavier. They beat Xavier by 25. Followed that up a few days later on the road at the Kohl Center with a win. You had the West Coast trip where they played pretty damn good against USC. Followed that up 3 days later. Blowout win over UCLA. Then you got like after that stretch, basically everything was a close game. So it's hard to say like what was good, what was bad. Um, the one I feel like was good, the home win over Purdue that we were at, had that win followed up, win at Ohio State. So yeah, I think for one thing I will say this Michigan team does seem like a team that's not very like game to game up and down. Either like things are going well and they're going well for a little bit, or things are going bad and we have no answers for a little bit.
Hmm.
Yesterday seemed like maybe the start of a new thing, but Maryland might just be so good that none of that matters, right?
Right. Which, I mean, do you, I know we talked about the similarities, but you got to feel good matchup wise, right?
I mean, I'm not. If Michigan loses to Maryland, I don't think it's the matchup. It's just Maryland is better.
Okay.
I don't think this is a scary matchup from. In fact, in a lot of ways, I like it because I like when Vlad and Danny are playing bigs.
Mm,
They are better against big men than they are against guards.
mm.
Maryland's gonna go too big the whole game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How do you think fatigue is going to affect both these teams?
I mean, I think it's going to affect Maryland more given. Actually, it probably even. No, no, no. They played the same amount of games, right? They both had the double bye. Yeah.
They've both only played one game. They're
Okay.
both notoriously thin, but Maryland's guys only played 25 minutes in game one. Michigan, I think you could argue like Kaysen's giving them good minutes right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to play as factor as much as I mean, you know, like Maryland has five players type thing, but also like every Maryland player just played 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't think fatigue's really going to be a factor in this
I
one.
think my answer is this. We just saw Purdue be really flat in the second game. I think both these teams are going to be flat.
Hmm. Hmm. Because it's the second game, they're going to be flat. Is that why?
Second game, no depth. Maryland just shot like 80% from three. Michigan's offense has been horrible, and now it's good.
Okay, that makes
I
sense.
like the under in this game big, and I like well, should we get to predictions? Do you have anything else before we get to a prediction?
I love this Maryland team.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why I love it though the most?
Because Derek Queen reminds you of you.
No, not even that.
What?
It's from the years of the depth dance. And I know I sound spoiled because the depths work from Michigan State this year, but I like a good old F that noise. I got my best five. I'm going to play in 40 minutes. I don't care about anything else. I don't want you to know my bench players' numbers.
Yeah,
It's my type of hoop.
that's true.
But yes, we can get to predictions now.
All right, prediction. Michigan 4-point underdogs against Maryland and Gainbridge Fieldhouse. What do you got?
I'm gonna go Maryland to win this game. I'll take Maryland. I know you said you like the under. I actually think that I'm a bet on both these teams actually building off their performances. So I'm gonna go Maryland winning this game 84 to 79.
Okay. I got Maryland winning. I think Michigan's performance yesterday was mostly about who Purdue is, not about who Michigan is. And but I will say this as someone who obviously would be okay if my team keeps winning games in this tournament. I think it broke the right way here for Michigan.
Hmm.
You're not beating Illinois. You had Maryland on the ropes late in the last game while Michigan looked broken.
Yeah.
It's a good matchup for Vlad and Danny. Maryland is not a deep team. They check a lot of the boxes situationally of like if Michigan just plays well, could they get this one? If Michigan plays well, they can get this one. But I will bet that they don't. I will bet that Maryland gets it done. We'll have a recap up of it once it's over. Thanks for watching as always.